I need to call out Chris Stanley on something from this past weekend.
Oh, taking off too many days?
Well, there's that, but this is something else. I watched Saturday Night Live with host Lena Dunham, and I have I've always heard Chris Stanley bitch about Lena Dunham, how she's not funny, how he hates that show Girls, it's the worst thing on TV. I thought she was hysterical and rocked Saturday Night Live. I'll totally be checking out Girls now.
I didn't see this Saturday Night Live, but I'll stand by that Girls is a bad show. I'm not a fan of it.
It's not like she wrote the show.
No, but still, he's always talked about the only thing to her is that she takes her clothes off. Well, no, she was hysterical too.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that's. I haven't seen the show, and you haven't either. You know what I mean? But don't you think you can be good on Saturday Night Live, but the show not be good that you're doing?
I guess there's a chance, but she seemed very naturally funny.
Case in point, Justin Timberlake. I'm not a fan of his movies or his music, but I'm a fan of him on Saturday Night Live in that Five Timers Club.
There is truth to that.
Otherwise,
he's never done a comedy that you would have thought was a good one. I've never seen Girls. I will tell you this, Fez, the ratings came back and it was like the lowest ratings of the year.
Really?
Something like an 18% fall off from Big Bang Theory the week before.
The Girls fans aren't as boisterous as the other fans.
Well, it's HBO show, too.
Yeah.
I think that's people like Chris Stanley just trying to spread a bad word about Lena Dunham.
I gave the show a chance. I watched an entire season of it. It's not like I just saw one episode and said, fuck you. No, I gave her a chance. It's just I'm not a fan of her.
I've never seen it for a second. I also saw the Saturday Night Live, and I can't say I was the fan of it the Fez was.
I feel like I would agree. I don't even have to have seen it.
A matter of fact, there was one sketch that she did that I wish the other girl in the show would have gotten.
Wow. Now she's just pushing people.
I'm like, oh man, they're using the wrong girl for this.
I thought all of it. I thought the Adam and Eve thing was hysterical. She ended up making a tweet about that and having to apologize. So she reset the public shaming calendar on the Interrobang.
What happened?
So after the show, someone had tweeted to her, why do you have to be naked? Why all the nudity? And she tweeted something back saying, my uncle makes me do it, that's why. So then she ended up apologizing later because people complained she made a molestation joke.
Yes, a molestation joke. She didn't do it.
Let's investigate her uncle, though, just on the fucking case.
Call him in.
The point of the joke is this is an awful thing. That is the point of the joke.
I don't even know if a lot of people complain. I think she just hey, I'm just gonna get in front of this. Probably wasn't the best thing to write.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry, molestation bad. A lot of people go through it.
Sorry about everything what I said.
I didn't mean it.
Love you guys.
Watch Girls.
She chalked it up to being up really late hosting Saturday Night Live and working all week on it.
Yeah, and then also there was the daylight savings, and that threw her off.
She lost an hour there, too.
There, I know it. Someone's already writing in. Isolate Fez saying, I'm going to be definitely checking out Girls this week. Then we'll just play that for his mom. Sounds like he's going straight.
Shouldn't you go back? I mean, you're not going to know really what's going on much.
At least that's one thing I want to give a try to. Are you going back and trying to find it now, Chris?
Yeah, I'm finding it right now.
Yeah, good. It is the Ron and Fez show. Even though they don't appear in the song, we also have Chris Stanley and Shelby with us today. You won't know that just from the tune itself, though. They were not included. Chris, how far are we away from playing that?
I say 1 minute.
Yeah, I don't have time for it. Let's go into the stuff that you put together for us this week, Shelby. What exactly is it?
Well, I've noticed a lot of talk with dictators like Putin. People are obsessed with him and all the little quirks he has. Mm-hmm. And he has to be a regular person, though. Beyond all his oppressing people and just rule with an iron fist.
You think there's something normal about Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, when he goes home at night, closes his bedroom door. He has to have some normal hobbies, like all dictators do. They can't be dictators all the time. There have to be normal people sometimes. So I went back and I looked at, like, you know, the worst rulers, the people who, like, killed the most people. What were their, like, kind of normal little quirks about them that kind of make them like normal people?
All right, give me one.
Like, what would you say evil dictator Adolf Hitler, what was his little thing he held dear to him?
Well, I know he's a vegetarian.
Was a veggie man.
Yeah, because he didn't like hurting animals, I guess.
But it goes along with it.
Okay, I know. Here's something that he did. He played quoits. Not a lot of people know this. In the backyard, he would not play horseshoes, but he would play quoits, which were like the rounded horseshoes. And he'd always be like this. Anybody want to play quoits in the backyard?
I always heard bocce that you play with Mussolini.
Wouldn't do it. Quoit, man.
Wow.
Fuck you. I'll play you in quoits any day.
Say Hitler, I was up late killing more Jews. I cannot play quoits with you today.
What's with the sexy Hitler that you're doing?
This is his right-hand man. This is his right-hand man.
You're doing a new character called Fuckable Hitler.
Junior.
All right, what do you got? What are you saying?
He actually was a giant dog lover. Like, he was obsessed with puppies. Like, if you, like, let your...
German Shepherds?
Especially German Shepherds. He actually had one named Blondie, which actually that was the name of my dog. It was a Cocker Spaniel growing up named Blondie.
He wanted to name everything Blondie.
Like, if you gave him your kids for the weekend, they'd probably end up in, like, a mass grave or something. But, you know, feel free to lend him your golden retriever.
I'll take care of that. Blondie, you're a good dog. Now lick my balls.
He actually, when, like, they were all coming after him and they were just converging right in his bunker, he had all these cyanide capsules, but he didn't know if they were going to work or not. So he gave one to the dog.
To Blondie?
To Blondie, and the dog died.
That he doesn't like dogs as much as you think.
And he was, like, inconsolable. Why didn't he just give it to a guard, like slipping in his beer or something?
He was already, his head was fucked up. And it was also daylight saving when that happened. That was a weird weekend. Chemically, he was thrown off.
Forgot to turn mine clocks back.
Is it 1 o'clock? Is it 3 o'clock? What time is it really?
It's killing you o'clock.
All
No,
right.
please. I kid. But
All right,
anyway.
give me another dictator.
How about the recently deceased Kim Jong-il?
All right, this is his, we're just saying his stuff that he enjoyed
Yeah,
that wasn't very dictatorial.
The things like you and I would enjoy.
Well, I know that he was obsessed with the Bulls and Michael Jordan and watched everything about them. And that's why he brought Dennis Rodman in.
Yeah, he did share that love with his son, but
Yeah.
he was actually a master cinephile. Like, he loved movies.
This one shocks me.
He was-
American movies?
He was obsessed with American movies, like, especially action movies. Like, those, like, we love them. They love them even more, like, overseas, especially Kim Jong-il.
Yeah.
And he actually kidnapped, like, 2 directors, like, one director and then his wife, who was an actress, and he just kept them captive in North Korea for years, and was like, yeah, you just make me a movie, you can't leave. And actually made this, like, terrible Godzilla-type ripoff called Pulgasari. It's just a terrible movie, and that's, like, what they spent most of their lives on. But they eventually, like, I think they went to some, like, film festival in Italy and then escaped that way, which, why would you even let them leave at that
Do you
point?
even know any of the movies he liked watching on? Was he like a Stallone guy, a Schwarzenegger guy?
Yeah,
He loved MASH.
He loved Rambo and James Bond. Like myself, I love Rambo and James Bond. He has some good taste.
Yeah,
but
they
what-
both suck.
Was he First Blood or did he like the other ones? Like First Blood was pretty good.
Oh, Spy Report.
Spy Report. Spy Report.
All right, this is. They're coming up with True Detective Season 2. They've just announces the 2 detectives. Once again, 2 guys forced together, will not get along together, but then go out to solve a crime. Riggs and Murtaugh. So this is going to be True Detective Season 2 is going to be fantastic.
Bringing them back?
Getting too old for this shit, Riggs.
Dealing with child molestation get pretty heavy.
Goddamn spaghetti man. Didn't we see him in episode 2? Riggs, I can't get off the shitter. There's a bomb attached to my ass.
Did Tuttle put it there?
Well, the thing with Tuttle last night. Oh,
Really?
I couldn't believe my eyes when the reveal.
give me another one of your guys.
Well, we all hate Osama bin Laden, I'm
Not
assuming.
necessarily.
Really?
He had a cool pad in Zero Dark 30.
Can't
Do you
deny
think
that.
it was good?
I mean,
I
good-
thought it looked like a mini match. I thought it had no aesthetic about it whatsoever.
Too many kids, too.
Let me say, good for Pakistan.
Yeah.
Or
Oh yeah. Pakistan, sure. They're over there living in fucking mud huts or whatever.
Well, when he wasn't, planning 9/11 and crouching in his little mini manch, he loved volleyball, and he was
Why don't
like,
you give us a chance?
it's my bad on that
You
one.
can't make a fucking game out of anything.
I was going to say air hockey. I would have been
I was
totally
going to say
fucking off.
volleyball. You know what? He liked volleyball the way all tall people like volleyball because it's the easiest fucking game.
He was so good, and his friend Mohammed Atef, who was also in Al Qaeda, they were so good that when they had their little volleyball get-togethers, they had to be on separate teams because they would just dominate if they were on the same team.
Yes, because he was 6'9" or whatever. It's like if Fez would like sports if there was one called ping puns, where instead of having to hit a ball back, you just came up with a pun. Do a pun about this reference, Fez. See?
Trying to think of a volleyball Al Qaeda combination.
Spike those buildings down.
9 serving 11.
Come on, Fez. There's some jokes we don't do. 9/11's one of them.
Come on, man. You're done.
Anyway, give us the next guy and let us fucking play the game with you.
Fidel Castro. Still living, apparently, in Cuba. I don't think he's ruling.
I know this.
Cuba. I don't think he's ruling.
I know this one.
What do you think he loved?
I know what he loved. He loved baseball because he tried out for the Yankees.
He did love baseball. He tried out for the Yankees and they were going to sign him, but then he hated America so much he just said, you know what, no.
Do you really think he would have got signed though, or that's his story?
I feel like he would have gotten signed. I feel like he had the.
They offered him a contract which had a $5,000 signing bonus, which in that time was like, what, $50 million?
No, it was like $5,000. That's all it was. It's exactly $5,000. I know he had a cutter. He threw a cutter, and then he threw a fucking Cuban palm or the Cuban riser, and ball comes in low and just comes up fucking high around the letters. Impossible to hit.
All I can throw is the Paul riser, and they hit it every time.
Oh, are you my pun man now, or is it fucking Fez?
Sorry.
I don't know who the pun man is. And then you said sorry after him. You're stealing his entire act.
I'm getting punished.
At least you're being very punctual. All right, give me the next dictator. And don't make it so fucking easy.
Saddam Hussein. The
Saddam Hussein. Somebody said, wasn't he into porn?
Well, I think we all into porn.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if I've ever heard of a soccer fan, I'm going to guess.
Gardening.
I don't think it's kind of hard to garden in Iraq. Sand and whatnot.
That's why it would be so special.
So he's got to fuck with you, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
But you take it. All right, what do you got?
Saddam Hussein, he loved shitty art. And they were just like, I think he hated...
Shitty art?
Trying to he probably hated gay people, but a lot of his art was really gay. Just shirtless dudes fighting like beasts, kind of spray painted on. They art critics call it some of the worst art they've ever seen when they eventually, invaded Iraq and took over all his mansions. And then the guy, that actually made it, just some, amateur guy in the U.S., kind of denounced his own art after that. How would you feel just some murdering dictator just killing his own people has your shitty art up hanging in his
I'd be
mansion.
happy if I had anybody who liked my art.
I'd be proud of that, and I'd say, listen, as bought by Saddam Hussein.
Like if I found out who Saddam Hussein listened to our show every day, I was like, all right.
Why doesn't he call in?
That was very funny, that 9/11 joke that Fez did earlier. 9 serving 11. Yes, when the towers fell, we were all happy. I'll never do a 9/11 joke.
Neither will I, except for that one I just did.
I always do the always remember. That's my thing. Well, you know, Fez and I were here at the time. We always said, we'll always fucking remember. I guess today's the day we forgot. Forgot how important it was. All right, they're showing exactly where that plane disappeared. And did you hear about how there was 4 different people with bad passports on there?
I heard there was 2. There was 4?
2 more, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
How is there not a tracker on the plane? There's like one in your phone that if I open an app, it pinpoints my
There
location.
was a fucking baby on the plane that was smoking a cigar, and they now think it was a midget.
Is there a guy in the wing, too?
Yeah. There's a guy on a wing, all right. Fez, got a joke about that? Got a pun about that?
No, not about the missing plane.
Just 9/11?
The 9/11 one I got lucky with. It came to me.
Wait, so they were lucky? I'm not even gonna.
I see a lot of good men on that day.
And women.
Yeah.
You know, dude, it's one thing for him to think that it's funny, but I will seriously neck slap you if you fucking start doing 9/11 jokes. I know. You were in Pittsburgh at the time, and everybody was worried what was going to happen to the fucking Pamini brothers if they get hit next. Well, it never
And
happened.
they got fries on the
Our
sandwich.
fucking city got hit. We have lowered the fucking bar today. That's for sure. All right, I don't even want to play anymore your shitty game. I'm too pissed off at you. Here's Josh in Massachusetts. You're on the Ron Fez Show.
Hey, Ronnie. I was listening to the news earlier this morning. I think it was CNN, and they were saying that the stolen passport thing actually being used is a very common thing. Within last year, they said over 60,000 of them have been used.
Yeah.
Stolen passports.
I travel with a stolen passport all the time.
Oh, me too.
I don't want anybody to know who the fuck I am and what I'm up to. You know?
Absolutely. Fez says he does, but he doesn't really.
I travel under the name Saddam T. Hussein. That's my thing. I go, no, different guy. And then we all have a big laugh about it.
I could see how you'd be confused.
I get it.
Feel like I'm still like on a watch list or something.
Fez, you want to see how many 9/11 jokes you can do in 60 seconds? 3, 2, 1.
I only have the one 9/11 joke.
5 seconds.
What kind of dog did Osama bin Laden have? A terrorer.
20 seconds.
Thinking if there's anything else I can come up with. No, another one's not coming to mind.
All right, there's a minute right there. Okay, so we did 1 in a minute. 1 in a minute. Chris, your turn. Bring up a topic.
New York Yankees.
New York Yankees. Go.
I know nothing about the New York Yankees. I don't even know who's on the Yankees to make a joke.
30 seconds.
Trying to think of a Jeter retiring joke.
That's a minute. It's Raw Dog Comedy Hits. We like to brag about having comedy ready to go at all times. Right now, Chris Stanley at 0, Ron Bennington at 1. We've gotten one joke off the air in 2 minutes, and that was for the Osama bin Laden's dog was a terrier. And Chris Stanley was able to stump him with the Yankees, even though he was trying to get off a Jeter retirement joke. Shelby, you've got to, the most you can do now is tie. I am trailing with the fact that he could only do one joke in the minute. Shelby, what do you got? What's the topic?
Cheetos.
Go, Fuzzy.
And I'm thinking about Cheetos. You know what the color of a Cheeto is?
Orange.
The official color? Trump. Trying to think of a vending machine angle.
Five seconds left. All right, there we go. So Hicks wins this with 0. You and I gave him. And this actually could be our Stump the Chump segment, where we got to come up with a topic that Fez struggles to do jokes about.
Fez could have gone like old school Yankee players.
Yes, he could have done quite a few things. He could have just sat there and tried. It could also be called Beat the Dead Air. Brian in Chicago, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing? I missed the first part of the show, but I was curious on if anyone brought up how on the end of Friday's show when you gave Fezzy those last 3 minutes, we literally just repeated who the guy's gigs who you had in studio and then your upcoming gig with Voss and Bonnie. Did anybody bring that up, how he just said the same thing over and over and over again?
No, I was already out of the room by then.
And no one else brought it up today?
No.
Oh, well, what's the deal, Fez? How come that you didn't come up with anything other than those two things? Just did a read after a read after a read.
I was making sure I got all the mentions in.
Yeah, I mean, you got those in the first 30 seconds, and then what about the last 2.5 minutes?
Reiterating. Very important job.
Reiterating that many times? Come on, we got it. You got to come up with something else.
Well, he just gave you 2 jokes in 3 minutes. What's the color of Cheetos? Trump. And then what kind of dog did Bin Laden have? A terrier. Here's David in Arizona. You're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, Ron, earlier in the show, you called Fez Bernie Taupin. I was just wondering if he knew who that was.
I have no idea who that is.
Wow.
Hey, Ben in Indiana.
What's that?
Go ahead, Ben.
Why did Chester Cheeto go skydiving? Because he's too big of a pussy.
The only toppings Fez knows are the ones on his pizza.
You couldn't even make it.
So
Your
stupid.
fucking joke.
You dick.
I like that. I like that you took a Dennis Miller angle with it too, with your head. The only toppings at Fresno's is on his pizza. Come on, Jim Lang. The clock's ticking. Let's try to make this thing work.